And we have arrived. Thanks everybody for joining us or who will join us. I'm, of course, Big Will. This is the big show. And as always, with me is Jeffrey KomiKHAN Henson. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We have, yeah, we have a good show planned for you guys. I believe Big Will's got some great advice he's going to be giving us.
Oh, yeah. What we're doing today, it's my fault. I messaged this way too late for JB to put it in the show. But we're going to be talking about conventions because not only do I have a convention I'm going to next weekend, but even later on in the month, Jeff's got a convention he's going to. So we're going to be talking all about conventions. So first thing I guess we should do is I'll let you say hey to the chat, Jeff, and then when you're done doing that, tell us about the one you're going to, and then I'll tell about mine.
Right now we have Mr. Garrell. Mr. Garrell just showed up in the chat. Good to see you. How you doing today, buddy? We have Mike Johnson. How are you, Mike? Good to see you, man. Got Just a Rican Rod, man. Always good to see you. We had a nice show yesterday. Me and Rod. We had a Bueller. We had Comic Head 84 and Comic Tom. Comic Tom was like our surprise guest yesterday. We had no idea that he was going to be on, and he kind of just messaged us right before the show asking to come on, and it's like, sure, why not, man? So that was pretty cool. Barbarian Kung Fu, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well today, man. Always appreciate all your support. I see you. Barbarian Kung Fu doesn't get enough love, man. Like straight up, like he is everywhere, supporting everybody. Really appreciate all your love, Barbarian. Thank you, man. So the convention that I've got coming up is at the end of March. It is the last weekend of March, and it is WonderCon Anaheim. And the thing about WonderCon is it's a pretty big one here in California. It's not quite as big as like KomiKHAN, but it is, I think, from what I've been reading, the biggest one underneath the actual KomiKHAN convention. And I just got not my press tickets. I wish it was press pass, but I just got my ticket, my little thing for it in the mail yesterday. So I'm excited for that. I'm going on Saturday. So I believe, I don't even know what day that is. Saturday the 30th, I will be at WonderCon Anaheim. They got a really good lineup of people going to be there. As far as whether or not I'm going to get to meet any or see any, I'm not sure yet. But we've got Sergio Aragones. He's an artist from Mad Magazine, Gru the Wanderer, it says. We have Vida Ayala going to be there. She's a writer for Supergirl, Marvel Knights 20th, and Live Wire. We also have Jen Bartel. She is an artist for Blackbird and Black Panther and America. We have Peter S. Beagle, author for The Last Unicorn, A Fine and Private Place. We have Julie Benson, writer for The 100, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. The 100, Batgirl. She's a writer. I don't know why I said it twice. Okay. But she's a writer for them. Shauna Benson, she is a writer. Emma Approved, Green Arrow, and co-producer of Wu Assassins. Wonder if that's like Wu-Tang. Huh. Kendari Blake, she's the author for Three Dark Crowns series, Goddess War trilogy. We've got, I'm sure everybody knows, Mr. Greg Capullo. He's the artist for Batman, Dark Knight's Metal. We've got Mr. Donnie Cates, writer of Venom, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Redneck, and plenty others you all know about. We have Katie Cook. She's a writer and illustrator of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and Gronk, A Monster Story. We have Corey Doctorow. He's an author for Walk Away and In Real Life. We've also got Damian Duffy. He is a writer and letterer for Kindred and Parable of the Sower. We also have, I believe it's Jerry Dugan, right?
Yeah, I think that's how it says it. Jerry Dugan. He did a lot of Superman.
Yeah, it's spelled with a G, so I wasn't sure if it's Gary or Jerry, but I think it's Jerry Dugan. It says writer for Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars. It lists all the other characters. We have Mark Evanier. He's a writer and producer, a historian, Kirby King of Comics. We have Michael C. Grumley, author for Breakthrough series. We have Joelle Jones, writer, artist for Catwoman and Lady Killer. We've got Tom King. He's a writer for Batman, Mr. Miracle, Heroes in Crisis. Andy Kubert, artist for Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, and Batman. We've got Phil Lamar, actor, Pulp Fiction, Get Shorty. He's a voice actor for Samurai Jack and Justice League. I believe he is also, oh, I know where, okay. I was going to say I thought he was from Saturday Night Live, but he is actually an actor from Mad TV. From that, it was like the Saturday Night Live Mad TV kind of a thing. We got Jim Lee, artist for Justice League, Suicide Squad, DC Comics, Image. I think he worked for them a little bit, so we all pretty much know Jim Lee. We have Tula Lote. She's an artist for Supreme, Blue Rose, All-Star Batman. We have Ryan Meandering. He's a head of visual development for Marvel Studios. Greg Pak, writer for Planet Hulk, Firefly, Star Wars, Age of Rebellion, and plenty of others. We also have Tim Sell, artist for Batman, The Long Halloween, Spider-Man Blue. Liam Sharp, artist for Wonder Woman, The Brave and the Bold, The Green Lantern. Dana Simpson, syndicated cartoonist for Phoebe and Her Unicorn. Scott Snyder, writer for Batman, American Vampire and Witches. From what I hear, Capullo and Snyder typically do a lot together, so that doesn't surprise me to see him there as well. Brian Stillfreeze, he's an artist for Black Panther, cover artist for Batman, X-Men, and Spider-Man. Peter J. Tomasi, writer for Detective Comics, Super Sons, and The Bridge. And Lee Weeks was supposed to be there, but something has come up, and it says he will not be there. So,
wow. Well, after reading all that, Mr. Girl says, Jeffrey, now you're just bragging. Look at my con, blah, blah, blah.
Whatever, Mr. Girl, you know what's up.
So is there anyone in particular you really want to meet after reading that list, or you want to get something signed by?
Well, I probably won't, just because I'm going to be probably spending all my money on comic books. But if I was, it would definitely be between Donny Cates, Snyder, and Capullo, I think.
That sounds like a good...
I mean, yeah, Greg Pak would be cool, but I actually have a Greg Pak signature already that somebody gave me, so I would probably try to look for something new. It is on A Totally Awesome Hulk, issue #1.
Yeah, but Greg Pak did World War Hulk, and didn't he do the Planet Hulk as well?
Yeah, yeah.
I would think maybe you get the first Planet Hulk. That'd be cool to get signed by him.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it would. Anything Hulk signed by one of the creators would be awesome, for sure.
I think the only person that has done as much for Hulk as Greg Pak would be Peter David.
Yeah, he's done a lot over the years.
As far as writers, that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the signatures that I would really want are from guys that are no longer living, so that would be hard.
So what? You said this is your first real, actual big convention, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been to a couple of conventions and some smaller locations. I actually went to a convention with Hulk Nuts, and it was, I mean, in comparison to WonderCon, it was pretty minor. It was in a little auditorium, couple of booths with some comic books, and you know,
so
a lot of like memorabilia.
Rather than a convention.
Yeah, kind of a lot of cosplay and stuff. And other than that, I've been to one that was inside of the shopping mall, so that was it.
All right. So we'll get to mine shortly, but I want to pick more of Jeff's brain. How are you preparing for it? Some people don't prepare. Some people spend like weeks preparing.
Well, like I've just been trying to save a little bit of money up here and there for it, and I had to buy a train ticket and a bus ticket and to get there. So I mean, that's kind of what I've been preparing, getting my travel arrangements going. I bought my ticket already. I bought it because if you bought it like now, if you go to buy it now, I think the price is like $45. But if you bought it before like February 12th, the price was like half of that. So I bought my ticket. I got it right here, and that was part of me preparing, was actually just being able to afford the trip, financing everything. Had to get my Amtrak ticket there, my Amtrak ticket back, my bus ticket, because Amtrak doesn't go all the way there because I got to go over some hills and stuff like that. So got to take a train halfway, get on a bus the rest of the way. Same thing when I come back. Just
How
been
far
prepared.
from where you live, roughly?
Like if I was in a car driving, it would probably be about 4.5 hours. But my cars are just kind of beat up, so I don't trust it. So I'm taking the train.
If you don't trust it to drive 4 hours, Jeff, may want to look into purchasing a new vehicle.
Yeah, oh, that I definitely, for sure. My car is one of those cars that I drive around town, try to keep it under 40 miles an hour, hope the wheels don't fall off. Yes.
I like what Just a Rican said. You gonna do that?
That is part of the plan, yes. But I've had that thought and idea before, and it doesn't happen. So, it's hard. Like, I show up to a convention, I'll have all my stuff, and then I'll get all nervous, or I'll get all embarrassed, or I'll feel like, oh man, somebody's gonna make fun of me for walking around holding the camera or something. So, like, half the time I don't ever do anything because I get all anxiety going through me.
But record it on your phone if you got a good enough phone. Everyone's got their phones out.
Yeah, I got to get one of those too.
Oh, never mind, man. But anyway, as far as me, hey, Thorough, what's up? Mike Johnson says, well, first off, hey, Mike. Hey, Gray Man. Let's see, Hulk Nuts come in. Mike Johnson says it's 6 hours for, I'm guessing, that convention. Is that what you're saying, Mike? Are you going to that convention as well, or?
Yeah, what's that, Mike? Are you here? Are you in California as well, or what? Yeah, right, Mr. Garrell. I bet you nobody knows me. I will not get recognized. It's going to be a huge convention. Nobody knows Jeffrey.
Well, maybe Mike will tell us here in a minute. But as far as my convention I'm going to, I don't know if this little ticket's going to focus, but it's called the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Now, there's a more famous Huntsville in Texas. That's not this one. I'm going to Huntsville, Alabama for my convention. That's the one I'm going to. And it is, he's 6 hours from Fresno by car. And, it's this weekend. This not today. This as in today's the first day of the week. It's this weekend, the one next weekend, the one coming up. And as far as, I don't know if anybody read it, but it says Alabama's largest celebration of all things geek, which, yeah, it is, but being the biggest celebration of all things geek in Alabama isn't exactly all that big. It's just for Alabama big. But it's about
that's what I said. I was like, oh, it's going to be pretty big, huh? And you're like, wow, that yeah.
But it's more than 5,000, less than 10,000 people. And who all is going to be at my convention is we have Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. We have Michael Biehn, he was in Terminator and some other movies. He's an actor. We have Jim Cummings. He did the voice for Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, all of those things. He's going to be cool to at least listen to. Jim Shooter, former editor-in-chief of Marvel and co-founder of Valiant. He's going to be there. The best known thing that people get him to sign is Secret Wars 8. I believe he helped write that.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Karen Ashley, the second Yellow Power Ranger, is going to be there. Stephen Butler, he's a comic book artist and creator whose name doesn't sound familiar to me, but anyway, he's going to be there. Let's see. We have Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, the Secret Stash, Jay and Silent Bob and all that.
Yeah.
He's going to be there. Tom Cook, he's an animator and director. He's going to be there. He did the Super Friends back in the 70s and 80s and He-Man. That's what he's famous for. Let's see. We also got Sam De La Rosa. He does finished art and inks for Marvel, Image, Disney. One of his most well-known things is Venom Lethal Protector. That was him. We got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Wrestler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's going to be there.
Cool.
We have David Fielding. He was Zordon in the Power Rangers. Gil Garal.
Cool.
is going to be there. He played Buck Rogers in I think the 70s and 80s. And then Michael Golden, he's going to be there. He helped co-create Rogue. He's an artist. Mike Grell, he's going to be there. He's famous for being the artist that did the Longbow Hunters on Green Arrow.
Huh.
Let's see. We have Jillian Hall, a WWE diva.
Yeah.
She's going to be there. Clinton Hobart, he's a Disney fine artist and Sting participant. I don't know what that is, but he's going to be there. Walter Jones, the original Black Power Ranger, he's going to be there. Let's see. George Lowe, he's an American voice actor and comedian. He did Space Ghost on the animated series Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Phil Oritz, he's a professional artist and animator. He did the Simpsons comic books. He's going to be there. Jake the Snake Roberts, another famous wrestler, is going to be there. Let's see. Chris Sabat, he is going to be there only on Saturday, and he was the voice of Vegeta on Dragon Ball Z. So I just really want to record him saying it over 9,000. See if he'd do that. And Sean Schimmel, I believe is his name. He voiced Goku in Dragon Ball Z. He's going to be there. There's a band called the Cybertronic Spree. They actually sound pretty good, but they dress up as Decepticons and Autobots as they play, like light hair metal type music, all based on video games and comic books.
Nice.
Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, is going to be there. There's a lot of Power Rangers.
I was going to say, I think I recognize that name.
Yeah, Catherine Sutherland, the second Yellow Ranger. The second Pink Ranger, excuse me. She's going to be there. Arthur Sidum, the Zombie King. He did the Marvel Zombies, all that painted work.
Okay.
That's him. He's going to be there. Eric Vale, he's a voice actor. He'll be there. He did Trunks as in Dragon Ball Z. And the main person I'm wanting to see is Marv Wolfman.
Oh, dude, I just got a Marv Wolfman book yesterday.
Yeah,
Teen Titans
the band name again was the Cybertronic Spree. That's the name. Anyway, Marv Wolfman and Aaron Zeck is going to be there. She, I have no idea what she does, but her little bio here says actress and professional flower hoarder, GIF overuser, the Zen of pancakes, trademarked, and coffee and puppy lover. So I don't know what the crap she does.
Yeah, that's odd.
And that's it. That's who's going to be there. And this is this coming weekend in Huntsville, Alabama, not Huntsville, Texas. Huntsville, Alabama. And anyway, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, is there anybody in particular you wanted to see out of that list?
Well, it'd be nice to meet Lou Ferrigno again. He was at Dragon Con last year, so I got to meet him. Got a poster signed by him. I actually got it framed. It's hanging up back there. You can't see it. So it'd be nice to meet him again. It'd be nice to meet Jim Shooter, although I was not able to get a Secret Wars 8 or anything for him to sign. I might get one there. I don't know. I definitely have a lot of stuff I want Marv Wolfman to sign, and it'd be nice to pick his brain a little bit as well.
Right.
And that's really pretty much it. I mean, if I happen to get a Avengers Annual 10, I'll get Michael Golden to sign that. But that's basically it. Of course, there's also vendors there, of course, for selling comic books and other stuff. I go for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the chat saying?
Talking about a road trip to Texas to go see Mr. Garrell at a convention. That was pretty much it.
I'm in. What was the date? A bit late, Barbarian, but like I said, it's this coming weekend. It is the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. That's my weekend adult pass. I don't know if it'll focus or not. Focus, camera. I believe in you. You can focus.
Right. Yeah, we can see. I kind of see it. It's all right.
It's March 9th and 10th at the Von Braun Center, South Hall in Huntsville, Alabama. Saturday, 10 to 6. Sunday, 11 to 5. So it is not my first convention was in 2006, and I've been to, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is either the third or the fourth time I've been to this one, and I started when it was real small, and it keeps growing every year. And I've been to Dragon Con 2 or 3 times. I'm going again later this year, and I've been to another convention 2 or 3 times, and I think 1 or 2 here and there. So I've been to multiple ones multiple times, but I still haven't been to, a whole lot of them. I'm no expert or anything, but I have learned a few things from my own mistakes. So you steer where we go from here, Jeff. What we doing?
Well, I figure I can kind of talk a little bit about what I'll be looking for when I'm at the convention. I have one like big goal that I'm trying to find, I guess, and that would be I'd really like to walk out with a raw copy of Incredible Hulk number 102. I like from my experience with conventions, everything's probably a little more expensive than it would be, but for me, that's kind of part of the takeaway. You go into a convention, it's something special. I don't always mind paying a little bit more than what you might find somewhere else. You can hold it, you get to look at the book, you get to actually see the condition of it physically up close instead of looking at it on eBay. But with me being on a train and traveling, because at first I was like, oh man, I'm gonna try and get a bunch of books, and then I was like, that's just gonna be, I've done that before. I've traveled with a lot of comic books on, and it's not easy to do when you're taking the train. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just try and get 1 or 2 books that I really want. And my goal is to try to find a raw copy of the Incredible Hulk issue 102.
Well, you're more likely to find a deal on that than like 180 or 181. So,
yeah.
The cool thing about conventions is if you have a book you're looking for, most of the time you'll find the book. Price is the only thing that may or may not be what you want, but you'll just about always find the book.
Yeah. And
Mr. Garrell, I noticed he said, I need to find an LCS so I can find out about these things. There's actually a great website called conventionscene.com, I believe. It has a listing of it. And of course, if you just type in your Google, conventions and whatever state or city you have, they have listings and stuff. And
that's how I found out about mine, man.
Yeah. So how are you bringing anything as far as comic books?
I've thought about it. I'm not sure yet. I've definitely thought about trying to find some things that I might be able to take with me for a possible trade, because I talk with JD a lot, and that's how JD gets a lot of his books. He buys a lot of brand new, all these variants that get hot real quick, and he'll take them and he'll trade them for books that he really, really wants. So I've been thinking about going through some of the books that I have, finding some things that I'm not really attached to, seeing if maybe.
Rob.
Yes, thank you. And seeing if maybe I can find a few books that I can take and maybe help out my wallet a little bit on some trade kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's good. What are you going to carry them in?
I do have. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I do have like a hard briefcase that rolls, and I was thinking about taking them in that, but it's kind of bulky, so I'm not sure yet. Hulknut's just.
I have one suggestion I can say. I learned this the hard way. You go, you can buy them from BCW, Reggie's sponsor, or you can go through Max Supply Pro or whatever they're called, Bueller sponsor. They both have them. These are folios. They're great.
Yes.
In the front right here, you can slide any artwork or anything you want down, or a label, as well as here on the spine. And they're held together with Velcro. And you open them up, and they're like this right here, where you can just slide the books in, and it's really great at keeping them protected. I would definitely recommend getting at least 2 of them. I need to get me one more, and the reason I say get 2 is because this one was not good enough at my last convention for me. So I definitely recommend getting at least 2.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, because I think they're not very expensive. I think they're like $10 or something, aren't they, for one of those
12 bucks is the most expensive I've seen, and depending on how many you buy, you can get it as low as like $6 or $8 a piece.
Yeah, I definitely need to invest into one of those. It would probably make life a lot easier.
Yeah, what Holtnutz agrees that these things are awesome, man. And
Yeah.
one thing that JD mentioned in his What's Your Grail that he was on with Tony Sanders that I can speak from experience is something that you need because I didn't have one is a tube. Like, you know, the post office, you can get those cylindrical tubes for like posters and artwork.
Yeah.
Get you one that's big enough for like an 11 by 17, maybe a little larger, and carry one of those things around. Because when I was at, yeah,
That's a good idea. Sorry, because I was pulling them off the walls at the last convention, and I just carried them around in my hand, man.
Because I found that when I was getting a bunch of people to sign stuff in my when I was at Dragon Con last year, they all signed for free, which was awesome. But I felt, you know, I didn't want to just get a book signed and walk away. So I felt like I should buy something, and they all had prints for sale. So I bought a print, and then I'm sitting there trying to roll them up, you know, carrying them in my hand. It was horrible, man. You need a tube. Those things.
Good idea.
Yeah, they would be great to buy. Now, if you have, you know, a couple folios and a tube, you also have to have some sort of bag. Most people do backpacks. I'm such a big fat guy that backpacks don't usually fit me very well. So I like an over-the-shoulder bag. They don't really make them for what I need, but I make do. And it's, you know, it's just.
I have a giant backpack. I should send you, Big Will. It's huge.
I don't know. I'm pretty huge myself. Yeah. Anyway, so that's yeah, I would definitely recommend the folios and the tube, man. I got to get me a tube.
Cool.
I don't have to worry about it for Huntsville because I'm like 30 minutes away. I drive right to the convention here in Huntsville. I do my thing. I can go out to my car, leave stuff in, come back in, no big deal. And then I go home at the end of it, you know, 30 minutes.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about it for this one. But for Dragon Con, need a tube. Got to get me one.
Yeah, I imagine at a big show like that, that's one of the hardest things is probably like finding parking and everything, right?
Yeah.
Getting there and
Hulk nuts. I have looked at all the shoulder bags. Most of them are made for women and have frilly little things on them. I am not wearing one of those. I don't care if you say it's a man purse, go with it. It is not happening. I got to have something made for me or that's specifically all manly or something. I am not wearing, you know, I am not pretty in pink, okay?
Yes, I'm not too sure that any of us are. I see some guys trying to pull it off, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah, besides, even if I did a purse, most of them aren't big enough to hold a couple of these. But
yeah, that's great. Because I had not thought about that, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I definitely need one of those.
But anyway, yeah. So you don't really have anything picked out. You said that you wanted to get signed or anything. I thought I would show off some of the books I'm planning on maybe getting signed. Let's see here. First thing I want to show is New Teen Titans, or not New Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans, issue 22 and 23. These were actually written by Marv Wolfman. That's 22. That's when Supergirl or Wonder Girl, excuse me, first joins the team. And then this is 23 where she gets her new costume. And like I said, Marv Wolfman wrote 22, and I think he wrote 23. I'll look it up before I actually get the man to sign something. But I want to get him to sign these. And then I have a whole bunch of Teen Titans stuff. Like I got the #1 and whatnot, other things. And wow, chat's going crazy. And then, of course, I have a lot of stuff like this new Teen Titans too. I went to Dragon Con last year, and I got George Perez was there, and I got him to sign a lot of these books. And I'm going to have to get Marv Wolfman to sign them as well. The only problem is that some conventions have a grading company there. Some conventions don't. Dragon Con, for as big as it is, doesn't have a grading company there that you can, you know, get things witnessed by. So I wasn't able to get this witnessed. So I'm going to, you know, the Huntsville Con this coming weekend, and they have CBCS there. That's the grading company that shows up. So I'll be able to get this signed by Wolfman and then sent off for the red label CBCS, and then 2 years I'll get it back.
Right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
I hadn't thought about that. That might be worth taking, because I have a few, like maybe like 3 books that I'd like to get graded. That might be something worth thinking about too, is taking those with me and dropping them off at one of those middlemen to get those taken care of, huh?
Well, you'll have to call ahead or look it up and make sure that they have a facilitator or someone there who can do that for you.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's a way to not have to pay the shipping. Shipping it to them anyway.
Right. Save a little money.
Yeah. And then now there's one book I have a question for. Maybe the chat can help me. Let me see. This is New Teen Titans number 23. It's the first appearance of Blackfire, Starfire's sister. Now, normally I wouldn't ask the chat and I'd get this sucker signed by Wolfman and have a yellow label on it. But the reason I need someone to help me out here is because it's the first appearance of Blackfire. It is a newsstand, and I'm not going to open it up, but it is also a Mark Jewelers variant. So I don't know. Would that be something you would slab without a signature, or would you get a signature? Because the only reason I get signatures is because I think I might sell it later. I don't personally like signatures on my personal collection, books, but on things that I'm holding for investment or quick flip, I don't mind getting those signed. So this is somewhat rare by being newsstand. It's even more rare by being a Mark Jewelers variant, and it'd be even more rare by having the signature on it. But more rare generally means you can jack up the price, but it also means the amount of people that would want to buy it is low. So I'm thinking I may not want to get this one signed and just have it slabbed as is. What do you guys think?
You're looking to flip that one?
Well, I believe that Teen Titans are an investment book in like 10 years.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'm not sure, like I don't know a whole lot about Teen Titans. I'm just going to say that, but I do know that I hear a lot of people are looking for them now, and they're starting to pick up steam. So
I don't actually read the Teen Titans. I just know that I did a video on this with John. Anyone can look at it on my channel. I just think that based on everything going on now, in 10 years or so, those will be the big books that a lot of people are wanting to get. That's why I'm getting them, getting different ones signed, getting multiple copies.
It's totally the reason I picked this issue number 1 up yesterday. Like, I think it's volume 2, the 1984 series. But
yeah, the volume 1. Well, I have it. I'll show it here in just a sec. Well, crap. I got too many Teen Titans books. I'm serious. I have too many. I can't find the number 1. Well, anyway, yeah, that's the second number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, I think part of it is because of the new show, Poor Mike. But Marv Wolfman and George Perez, they're pretty phenomenal guys, and I think that has a lot to do with it too. People enjoy Marv Wolfman work.
Yeah, but yeah, Halt Nuts brings up a good point. Is that George Perez is retiring this year, so he isn't going to sign anymore. Although I hear he's still going to be at Dragon Con, because Dragon Con, I think he lives close, so I think he's still going to be at that one convention, but that would be it. So basically, it's now or never on George Perez. So unless you make a big trip to Dragon Con, assuming he is still going to Dragon Con, or you something in through someone else, you won't be able to get his signature.
Yeah, with that point right there alone, it might be worth grabbing it now, Big Will. Like,
yeah, but I also agree with Halt Nuts that a lot of people like those Mark Jewelers just because they're Mark Jewelers.
Yeah, so, there's a few Hulk Mark Jewelers too. I don't have any of them. They're always too expensive.
Thanks to all you guys, I think I'm gonna just decide to not get that one signed. I'll pick up another copy maybe this week, and then I'll get that one signed. But the Mark Jeweler one, I'll just slab as is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what other stuff are you thinking about doing since you're going to be at a convention? Is there anything you thought of, or hey, I know, is there anything the chat thinks one of us should do at a convention since we're both going to one here soon?
Right. Like they were talking about, maybe recording some stuff, some footage would be cool. I keep telling myself I'm going to, we'll see. And then, Hulk 102, probably I'll probably be looking for some toys also, Incredible Hulk toys, something like that. I'm always keeping my eye out for little things that I can't find at a regular everyday LCS.
Now, are there any books you're specifically looking for other than the 102?
Yes and no, kind of like I'd really like to find New Mutants 87. But
I like
it's
how
kind
Hot
of,
is thinking.
I would, yeah, for sure. That would be great. New Mutants 87 is one that I'm looking for, but it's not serious enough to where I'll pay too much for it. If I can find it at a reasonable rate, or maybe make a few trades or something on it and get a good deal on it, I'll pick it up. But it's not like a must have.
This is a little off topic, but Halt Nuts made me think of it. Is one thing I noticed.
I will
First off,
definitely be looking at all the girls there.
yeah,
Yes,
one
absolutely.
reason I know the Teen Titans will be big later is all the different cosplayers that are cosplaying as Teen Titans. I mean, heck, even the guidebook that you got when you got your pass at Dragon Con had a cosplayer pictured on it, and they were cosplaying as Raven.
Oh yeah.
But dude, you would not believe all the Starfires, the original costume Starfires that are cosplayed there. I was at a panel with George, and at the end, all the Starfires went up and were, "Will I take a picture, George?" So he had his arms around like 5 or 6 different girls that were, their boobs were hanging out. And
I'll be trying to get those kinds of pictures too.
and he
Yes.
got a few pictures like that of all those Starfires. He's like, "Oh, my Corys are here," and I'm just in my head going, "Go, George!"
Yeah. Right. Dang. Rock star.
Yeah.
Man.
But
That's cool.
I don't know if I'll do a video or not. As of right now, I'm the only person I know of that's going to be there.
Well, it looks like Barbarian's trying to get a group together, meet you down there. So
if he does, that's something. But hey, Hulknut says Hulk 102 is a good time to buy. Everyone's focused on 377, Immortal Hulk. They're always focused on 181. So they're sleeping on 102. He might have a point.
yeah, and that's kind of the thing is I'm working my way backwards with that. I started out buying all the cheap Incredible. I was a kid. I'd buy all the ones I found for like 50 cents. Then I slowly worked my way up. Oh, this one's $1, $2 here, and now it's like I'm to the point now where like I've got a lot of the more expensive books left, and 102 is probably the cheapest of them. So
actually, Barbarian, it's a 4-hour drive, but coming from your state to my state, you time travel back in time 1 hour. See, I've got an hour when I travel. You get to go back in time. You get an hour younger. Ain't that awesome? Your beard might shrink by 1 inch.
Oh, that's funny.
Now everyone knows Hulk #1 super expensive, hard to find, and mid-grade, let alone high grade, unless you have a lot of money. And for some weird reason, no one really cares about the Tales to Astonish Hulks. So I think 102 is the main one to get to me, and I'm actually looking for it too. But it's not one I'm going to look for, but I do want to look for it.
Yeah, and I agree with Hulk Nuts. He says it's now or never because pretty soon it's going to get out of reach. And Hulk Nuts is one of the ones who really turned me on to that book, honestly, because I was always focused on like 1 through 6, and then he was like, "Well, they kind of retconned that."
Since you and Hulk Nuts are here, and you're both super Hulk people, that sounded funny. Let me ask you this: why is it that no one cares about Tales to Astonish as much as the other stuff? And do you think they are important to get as well for a Hulk fan, even though they usually have someone else in the book as well?
If you're a Hulk fan, I think it is important to have. I have a few, and I'm trying to slowly get them here and there. And it's something that like after I get most of the Hulk series, I'll probably go back and try to get. but I just think that it was because I don't think he's in the first. Like I don't know. Now Hulk Nuts knows more than I do, and I'm probably going to say something that's incorrect. But correct me when I say that he will. I don't believe the Incredible Hulk was in all the Tales to Astonishes. I think they stopped, or I think it was Incredible Hulk issue 1 through 6, and then it was Tales to Astonish. And I think the Incredible Hulk didn't come back until like Tales to Astonish issue 59, 69, or something like that. And then from there, the Incredible Hulk was in Tales to Astonish. And Incredible Hulk was only on the cover, I believe, of all the odd issues, and every even issue had Namor on the cover of it or something like that. So the Tales to Astonish, it wasn't fully a Hulk series, so a lot of people, they don't take that into account as much, I don't think. Well, but I do think if you're a Hulk collector, it's good to have.
Well, to me, you should, because they ended the book at 101, and Hulk started at 102 because of the Tales to Astonish. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a couple books I'm actually looking for, aside from, my Teen Titans and all that stuff. I want to try and get Avengers number 8 and number 10. That's the first appearance of Kang and the first appearance of Immortus, who's also Kang. Right. And I think that I'm one of those people that believes they have a good chance of being big, if not the main villain, after Thanos in the movies. I think there's a good chance they will at least be used in some way. So I want to get those now to where, I could sell them later or just keep them for a while, and let the value gain. So those are 2 books I'm looking for sure. And then, of course, if I see a Hulk 181 at a good price or a 180, I'll see if I can try and get it.
I think that with 181 being so astronomical at this point, or at least right now, I feel like 180 is probably going to start getting a little bit of pickup to it.
Yeah, it is. And but as high as it is now, I think the first mention of an X-Man, whether it's Wolverine or not, in a Marvel movie, that'll jack the price up even more. I don't think there'll be another price increase aside from an actual Wolverine appearance that's good in the Marvel movies. After that, it'll probably plateau, and that's just the in general raising of price that always happens.
Right.
But I think now would be okay time to get it. It'd be better if you got it 2 years ago or longer. But I actually, you're going to think this is crazy, but because I was sick for so long and I come back now, and I started working. Last week was actually my first full week back. I needed a little bit of cash, especially to go into this convention, so I sold my 181. Believe it or not, sold it for the same price I paid, though, so I didn't lose anything. But I can always get one later. There's plenty of them, and
there is, man. And that's the thing with that book that surprises me a lot, because, and I know it's Wolverine, everybody loves Wolverine, I don't have a problem with that. It's just, it seems like it's one of the most expensive books that is not rare. Would you agree, or is that just me like talking out of my rear?
No, dude, there's like 11 or 14,000 on the CGC census. That's not counting all the crap PGX copies and all the CBCS copies. So yeah, there is a lot of them graded, let alone just a lot of them. There's a lot of them graded.
Yeah,
all the other raw copies you have.
Yeah, that's the most shocking thing to me about that book, is how it's so expensive and is pretty obtainable if you have the money to spend.
Yeah, I mean, I think Silver Age Dave has like 12 copies. Yeah, that's insane. Of course, he bought like half of them in 1974, but
right. And Hulk Nuts has a great collection of Hulk books, and he's been collecting. I think a lot of his collection stuff he's been collecting over the years, ever since he was a kid too. And that's how my Hulk collection is too. It's just that when I was a kid, it was 1992. So a lot of my comic books are from 92 and 93. So unless the 90s all of a sudden pick up and get hot, like, I'm not really sitting on much.
Yeah. Now, is there anything you think you might want to get at the convention and then get signed? Like, For example, at last year's convention, Mark Bagley was there in Huntsville, and I was going to get him to sign a Venom Lethal Protector, but he charged nothing if you got it personalized, but if you just wanted it signed without a personalization, it was like $10, and it was $20, I think, if you got it witnessed by the CBCS rep. And I wanted it either witnessed or, signed by him, just by him and maybe get some other signatures later.
Right.
So I didn't get one. But anyway, I have a 9.8 grade.
Nice.
And then I have another 9.8 that's raw. And since Sam De La Rosa is going to be there and he did this, I'm thinking about having him sign it, but I don't know if I should wait and see if I can get a Bagley signature or Michelini signature, or just send in that one to CBCS and get a yellow label. What do you think? Because Sam De La Rosa, he's not the well-known name with Venom as that he should be. Everyone else, it's McFarlane, Michelini, and Bagley. Those are the names everyone knows.
Right. Man, I don't know. Like, because I'm told, like, for me, like, I'm not going for any of the people there. Like, I'm going solely to hunt for books and maybe some toys. The people that are going to be there, there's a big lineup of people, and it's awesome. But I'm not going to be going to get signatures or any artwork or anything like that. It's just not really my thing. Signatures are cool, but I'm not paying a bunch of money for somebody to sign a book. I'd rather just have my Hulk 102 or something like that, because I don't have a lot of money to take with me. I small budget, so if I had a bigger budget, I would be all for all of that stuff. It's just right now with the way that my budget works out, it's not really something I can do.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the? I know I asked you some of these questions off camera. What, if you don't mind me asking, is your budget, or what would you like it to be?
Well, for my whole trip, it's probably going to be like around $300, and that's going to be like including food and all that good stuff. So like I probably have like close to $200 probably to spend at a convention, which is why I'm hoping I can get my 102. It's going to be hard, but like I think for a raw copy, I might be able to find one like that. I'll have a few books to take for trade. And then from that, I'm saving some money. So hopefully I'll have a little more of a budget than that. But right now, guaranteed like a $300 budget.
Well, right now, and I'll have to look at how much it's going to cost me to get all these things signed and sent off by CBCS. Based on how much that's going to cost, I'll figure out how much I'm going to have for the rest of the convention. But I would like to have, because I don't have to worry about food or anything, because it's 30 minutes away. I'd like to have $1,000 for the convention. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to be saving up. And for Dragon Con, I definitely want to get like $2,000 or $3,000 together. It's going to be tough, but I think I can do it. And that's what I want to carry there, because there's a lot more people, a lot bigger books will be there as well, and there's more stuff to do. And then, of course, I got to pay for everything. So, one good thing about it is I got the ticket at the end of the convention last year, so it would cost me like $70, whereas if I were to buy it now or in a few months, it costs like $150 for the ticket.
Yeah. I got mine at a discount rate too.
Mm-hmm. It helps to buy early. I mean, this one for Huntsville Weekend Pass, I think, is like $50, but I got it for like $30 because I paid early.
Right.
So
Barbarian, I'm not.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Barbarian was asking me what I'm trying to pay for a 102, and like really it depends on like condition. I would try to find a decent copy, but like honestly, I'm not really like concerned.
You're also not going to necessarily straight pay money for it. You're hoping to trade a little too.
I'm hoping to, even if I can trade a couple books and get like a $20 discount or something on it, would be
how much value in cash plus trade do you think you would be comfortable spending on a Hulk 102?
I'm thinking 150 to the 170 range. Like I'm seeing the slabs go for $300-400. So I figure if I get a raw copy in good shape, like 170 would probably be like a high end range. I'm thinking, but I'd like to
Oh,
see if I can find one. I'd like to see if I can find one for like 130 or something.
it looks like he's trying to help you out.
Oh hey, yeah. Do you know how much they're trying to charge for that one there, Barbarian?
While you wait on him to answer, I saw Hulk 102. See, I was at, this is at Dragon Con. I was at a booth of one person. I turn around and across the aisle at another booth, I see a 102. That's the first thing I see. I beeline for it. I get up to it. I start looking at it, and I'm like, wow, this is nice condition. And then I move this hand, to see what the spine looks like.
Bad.
It's not that the spine was bad. It's that it used to be a newsstand book, and they punctured a hole in the top for the rings to hang the book up.
Dude. I
And
saw one on eBay the other day, and they cut the whole Hulk logo out of it, and they were still trying to sell it for like $120, and it was missing the whole Hulk logo. And I'm like,
yeah, and the dude still wanted like $140 for the book, and I'm like, no. I think I bought something, but it wasn't that.
right. And that's the thing with a book like that. I would like to try to find it in person or from somebody that I trust to know that it's not kind of bogus deal, Like
Hey,
I'm not a big condition guy. I would like all the staples to be connected. I would like the cover to be in decent shape. Most of it there. I'm not big on creases or
you just
like
want the book
dog-eared
complete.
corners. Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh. Because I'm gonna read it and everything. Like I'm not.
Hey, looks like we got some new people coming in. I got C. Woodard in the house.
Hey, sup,
Florence
Steve?
Chestnut. I don't know if I've seen her in here. Nice to
Good,
see
good
you.
to see you, Florence. Yes.
All right. Let's see. We got about another 9 minutes or so.
Is there any like grells or anything you're trying to get at this convention you're going to be at? What are you trying to find in
at
particular?
this
As
convention?
Yeah, as
Uh,
far as like books or
if I see
anything.
one, if I see one and I can get it, well, obviously, yeah. But there's nothing other than what I mentioned that I'm looking for in particular. But at Dragon Con, where there should be bigger stuff and more of it, even though it's a pop culture convention, both of these are comics and pop culture conventions, Dragon Con and this one in Huntsville. But they, unlike that one that Bueller went to and was disappointed by, because they didn't have any comics, there's still plenty of comics. So I'm going to wait to Dragon Con for all that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And I also have more time that I'm back working that I'll be able to save up more money too.
Right. Dude, I'm definitely excited for this convention. This first time I've been to anything this epic, and like I say, I'm gonna walk in the door and I am gonna be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like I'm that guy. Like I'll bounce around to every shop or every booth in there before I buy anything. I'm gonna take inventory in my head, see what this person's got, see what this person's got. Then when I see everything, I'm gonna go back or and be like, okay, this guy had this. I'll go check him out, see what he's got. That's my plan at least.
Well,
I'll probably get there and I'll see a 102 at the first booth or something and be like, oh, that's
well,
awestruck or something.
one thing that I heard JD and some other people mention, and I would second the motion, is don't buy the first one you see. Shop around at other booths, and if it's gone, it's gone. But most of the time, everyone's going to be shopping, instead of just going to one booth, buying it there, because you never know if it's going to be cheaper. Like I normally have done, in this convention, it's all one big area. And I've done, 2, 3, 4 rounds before I, really bought something, because you never know if a lot of the dealers will have, a short box of stuff. It's like, hey, Tom King's here. Here are the Tom King books you would want to get signed. And, some of them might have better prices at another one. And then, of course, the wall books. One guy might have a 5.0 for 500. Then another guy might have a 5.5, for 500. Well, obviously, you'd get the 5.5. So you never know. You got to look.
Hey, G Pat, good to see you, man.
Hey, hey. See, Wood said he saw a 102 at an antique shop for $75, and he almost pulled the trigger.
I know. I was just sending him a message. I think that's a good one to have, Seawood. In my opinion, I don't see that book doing anything but getting hotter. You know.
For that price, if it's complete, I would say get it.
Yeah. I mean, like slabs are getting pretty expensive. I've seen them at $400 or $500 now, but I can't afford that kind of thing.
Yeah. Bad news. He wants $350 for a 7.0.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting up there.
Shooting for a 7.0 either. You were shooting for like what, a 3 or a 4?
Yeah, that's probably the range I assumed I would end up with. Yeah. But you know, like you said, you never know. You go to a convention, maybe I'll have something decent to trade. I'm going to be going through my boxes and see what I got. So maybe by the time I get to a convention, I can.
Well, is there anything anything else you think we should mention, or what else are you doing this week? You got any shows? And then we'll get off after that. What you got going on?
Tomorrow, I got my show with Tony, to slab or not to slab it. And then Wednesday, I am doing a show with John from John's Comics with Kids. We are doing a rundown of the whole Immortal Hulk series. So it's going to be pretty fun. We're doing that because
wait a minute. You're on To Slab or Not to Slab. You've been on it since the start, right?
Yeah.
Have you actually slabbed any of them?
No, and that's the whole point. I've been talking to Tony, like the last week on the show I didn't even show any books because it's almost to a point where it's an ethical type of thing. Like I don't feel right getting on a show talking about slabbing books when I don't even slab them. So now I'm just kind of turned into like a co-host of the show kind of a thing. So it's all right. Yeah, and
nobody welcomes the chat like Jeffrey KomiKHAN Henson.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. But yeah, you know, that's about it. I've been working. I got a couple of videos that I need to get out, like recorded videos. My new episode of The Pursuit of Hulkiness is going to be out. The plan is to record it today, so hopefully it'll be out soon. But it's been raining here. My grass is like 2 feet tall, so my plan is to go mow the backyard right after this show and hopefully get some chores taken care of, and then maybe get some videos done. So hopefully by the middle of this week, I'll have a few more real videos out.
All right. Well, I was going to be doing a preview video for an auction that I was going to do this coming weekend myself, but I have yet to receive my books back from CGC, and there's a few in there that I really want to have in that auction. So I'm going to have to push it back to hopefully by the end of this month, I'll be able to do my experimental auction where I'll try some different things, and the preview video is definitely going to be important on that. So
yeah,
I have to wait. I apologize, but can't make CGC rush. I wish I could, though. That's the worst thing about grading books is having to wait so long.
Right. Oh yeah, I bet.
But anyway, well, I guess thanks to everyone who popped in at the last minute. Sorry, we're gonna say hey and bye, but thanks to everyone who was.
One question: Are we going to be doing a show next weekend, or are you going to be at your convention next weekend?
Well, I actually was. When we get off air, I have an idea I want to talk to you about.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So anyway, well, thanks everybody for coming. I enjoyed the show, and we'll see you guys later.
I appreciate y'all.